The Biden administration wants to hike the corporate tax rate to 28%. Analysts say 25% is more likely. Robert Frank joins us to explain why that small difference is a really big deal. Robert, good morning.
Good morning, Becky. And this really is the most important question for investors right now. Will it be 25% or 28%? Goldman Sachs and other analysts saying the 25% is the most likely compromise. Biden, of course, expecting to push for 28. Now, those 3 percentage points will make a huge difference to revenue, earnings, and jobs. A study by the Tax Foundation found that a 25% corporate rate brings in about $522 billion in extra revenue over the next decade. That's compared with $886 billion for the Biden rate. So that's a 40% less with the lower rate. When it comes to the economy, the lower rate reduces GDP by 0.4%. Biden's rate would double that to 0.8%. The drag on corporate earnings is 3 times lower with that 25% rate, 3% versus 9% for Biden's rate. And similar with incomes and job losses, where the hit is almost twice as large with that 28% rate. The Tax Foundation saying Biden's rate would cost about 160,000 jobs. The lower rate, or the 25% rate, would cost about 80,000 jobs. Bottom line here, a 25% rate would still bring $500 billion in added revenue over time, but have about half the impact on the economy and incomes, Becky, which is why they're going to fight on both sides for every percentage point of this tax change, whether it's going to be 25 or 28.
When you say both sides, do you mean both sides of the Democratic Party? Because the way you set this up is it's either going to be 25% or 28%, and we'll see what happens. I mean, that kind of sets it up for being 25% as a compromise. But that's a compromise within the Democratic Party, right?
Yeah, this just assumes that they do it through reconciliation and they don't try to go bipartisan route. I think the Republicans have been very clear that at this point in the economy, they don't want any tax increase on companies, which would filter down to, as we just mentioned, jobs. So you're absolutely right. This is the moderates versus the more liberal ring of the Democratic Party. And, of course, the White House. The White House, Biden, since his campaign, has been pushing for 28.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.